Give it a fair chance, it's better than you thought. Just don't listen to that one track. Oh, hey everybody, welcome to Punk Rock Review, home of a bunch of opinionated crap you don't care about, also the home of the feedback you provide that we don't care about, keeps us on an even playing field, and we like that. Real quick shout out to our sponsor. That was fast because we don't have one. Feel bad and give us money. Anyhow, moving straight into it today. Today we're going to be talking about a band that we've talked about before. We've talked about them a variety of times. And whilst we admittedly are not the most 100% biggest fan, man, we've always had a nice infatuation with these guys and the utmost respect for the skill and the talent and everything like that that they bring to the table. And without further ado, you already read the description. Good for you. You're smarter than you look. We're talking about the one and only Primus. Name of the album in question on this one's going to be ANTIPOP. So Primus, ANTIPOP, what can be said about this one? Well, like we said, for having rocked out to these dudes as much as we have, and you might be saying like, Tales from the Punch Bowl, why known as Big Brown Beaver, what are you talking about? Where did you come in at? Why did you always have a kind of turned off, almost disdain for this album, ANTIPOP? And we'd be saying, we came in super early in these guys' endeavors, man. Sailing Seas of Cheese, all that stuff, man, early. Tales from the Punch Bowl, early, whatever. Followed them, man. Les Claypool and the Holy Mackerel, all the sides, okay? When ANTIPOP came out, and, we were primarily, man, and mainly our buddies and stuff, man, that were bigger Primus fans than us. So whilst we had a couple albums and things of that nature, we didn't really start acquiring Primus's discography until after, college life, move around, whatever, get, fired from a couple jobs here or there. Life's crazy. If anyone wants to help us out, feel free. You can't fire us from this one. We're working for free. Free content. Fucking this shit sucks. Well, you get what you pay for. We didn't start acquiring Primus's albums, their discography, really until about the Brown album came out because, our buddies and stuff, they're like, we know about you now. Been around you too long. You can't listen to our CDs anymore. You'll scratch them. What? What gives you that idea? So we didn't start picking up their stuff until like the Brown album, stuff like that later, all right? So ANTIPOP, when that one had rolled around, obviously, everyone knows the bigger track on there and such. But really, that's like 3 or 4 tracks in, and to get to that, you gotta go through a little something called track number 2. All right? And what is it? Like the Uncle Sam or something or another. Whatever. In our earlier years, because we weren't the biggest Primus fans, all right, this one came out. We listened to it a couple times. Our buddies had it. Whatever. It would be more background, okay? When we sat down to listen to it the first time, man, that Uncle Sam song just isn't one of our favorites. Not that it's not good, not that it's not latent with, talent and whatever, and oozing with, finesse, care, I don't know, whatever. It wasn't the track for us. Because it is so early on in the album before the main success hit. All right, a couple tracks in, track 4. You're kind of greeted with the intro, for us, some we don't really care for as far as we know how much more we love the rest of their catalog. So when we hit Uncle Sam, second track on the album, first real track on the album, it's like, man, not our favorite. But in going back and listening to the album again, all right, there's so much that we missed out on, okay? As far as tracks that we should have been revisiting for years. because this album is littered with the same insane, creative, technical talent and sounds and utilization of techniques and skills that all the rest of their discography has. The only thing is that ANTIPOP in our younger years, with the track we didn't dig being in the first part of the album, before you know the main successive part that everyone knows, everyone loves, everyone cared for. Okay? All the cool kids. Man, to get to there and then to know that we've already heard the main song and stuff like that, skip it. And it was background. We never sat down and listened and really got to enjoy all of the rest of the greatness that is found throughout this album, man. These dudes, man, their tunes over the years, for us to have listened to so much, man, I don't think we really ever had sat down and given a fair listen to ANTIPOP. All right? All the way through, from start to finish, gave it, man, that fair shake. Never did. All right? Skill and talent is off the charts. All right? There's just the songs that we don't dig, don't like, man. And when there's so many other albums of theirs that we listen to, have listened to, enjoy listening to, you don't always go back and check stuff out in a timely manner. And so that's the case for this now. Years and years later, be like, man, let's rock some Primus. Let's throw on ANTIPOP. We haven't listened to that shit in a long time. Except the main title song, man, The main single, the main release, the main music video. And sitting down and listening to it, man, yeah, it's such a newfound enjoyment that we have because they're songs that just are not sunk into our head yet. The way that the other albums have sunk into our head, that we already mapped out the tracks we really enjoy on those and the ones that we might not care for. Not every album necessarily is going to have every song be for every listener and every fan. Except Taylor Swift, every song's perfect, right? Wait, what? Shut up. The point is that, man, checking this one out again, going into it, listening to it, enjoying it, and being able to come out the other side with just new favorites that are within the track listing on this album is fantastic. Nothing like adding another couple songs to your playlist, and some of these songs on this album are just insane. And it's a shame we haven't been listening to it for years, but in listening to it again, we know why. We still aren't a huge fan of that first main track on this album. And a lot of people might be, a lot of people maybe are. But for us, with albums, man, arrangements can really affect our overall just feeling and mood and vibe with it. We don't know why. Maybe we're just too emotional as rock and rollers, okay? We bleed just like everyone else who isn't a synthetic artificial intelligence robot. Wait, what? Don't worry about it. Fucking end this shit. I want to go listen to ANTIPOP. All right, whatever. Yeah, go listen to ANTIPOP. It's way better. On your way out, though, you'd appreciate any change you got. Man, this one's so much better. And now we have new favorites to go listen to. It's fantastic. it's just unfortunate that it took us this long, man, to get back into give it another listen, man, to give it another rundown and find those new tracks and titles. But for us, personally, who never picked this one up, who only listened to it background mostly, all the way through, maybe once previously, prior, right? Portions of it here and there, tracks here or there, maybe. It's like a whole new release for us, and it's fantastic. Still a song or two we're going to skip. Probably just start at track 3. That's probably how we want to do it, but it doesn't matter. That's us. You're you. You go listen to whatever you want. What the hell? Primus, ANTIPOP. Someone had said in the comments, man, on the video, on the U of the tube, that people slept on this album. It was a sleeper album. They're entirely right, man. People slept on this album. We slept on this album for over a decade, probably. I don't know when this shit come out. It doesn't matter. Life, man. People slept on this one. We slept on this one. And there is some fantastic stuff here that's worth a revisit, man. I don't know. Something to consider. Or not. We don't care. Primus ANTIPOP, you get a good old-fashioned check. Or check it out. Or don't. Do whatever you feel like. Mainly, you should feel like giving us money. So do that. Have a good one, you probably didn't. We'll catch you next time. Probably won't.